Alright, so good afternoon. We are playing the brand new version of Boxing Time Bouts. This booklet was made via the Office Depot online booklet feature. I took the ebook, dropped it in the Office Depot booklet online automated thing, picked my paper, whether it was color or not, and hit go. This cost me $3.80 or something. So I was able to pick it up in the same day. All right, so there's some new rules. As I talked about before, the first game was fantastic. I've been playing it for a long time, but over the course of that time, I realized there were a couple things I wanted to add. So I added skills to boxers. I changed the terminology from value to quality. KO limits and bouts are still the same. So now every boxer has skill, quality, KO, limit, and bouts. What's the big change? Well, skill indicates the number of dice they get to roll for their potential scoring. Quality is their letter grade. So, for instance, I've got Muhammad Ali here as an A quality versus Ken Norton's B. So A versus B is B for Muhammad Ali, so he'll be using the B chart for his scoring. Ken Norton is a B versus A. He'll be a D. So Ali is a B versus D, and Ali uses 5 dice. And Ken Norton uses only 3 dice, but Ken Norton has the KO advantage. So if he catches Ali, he could waste him. So the biggest changes have been terminology change. That's a simple change. The scoring chart changed quite a bit. Adding of the skill ability and changing what a KD means. It used to be there was KD and KO. Now it's KD only. And then if you get a KD, you roll to see if you knock him out. Before I had a KD that didn't mean anything. It just meant you won the round 10-8. Well, again, that would look like you were collecting lots of knockdowns, so that was kind of ridiculous. But outside of that, I just realized I should just simplify that to a simple KD where we check for a KO. So that's pretty simple. So what this means is Muhammad Ali gets to roll 5 dice. His skill is 5, so he gets 5 dice. And why is that important? Well, mostly it's important because it helps him avoid not having multiples. So you want to get multiples of something, and if you're already a good boxer, you would like to get high numbers. Like this would be 2 6s, 2 4s. You have to take the low. So 2 4s for Muhammad Ali would be a cut. So Norton would be cut, and if based on Norton's roll, Muhammad Ali would win that round 10-9 based on cuts, right? So the cuts don't count as points, but they count as winning the round because of damage done to Norton. If it was 6s, then that would be Ali would get a knockdown. So if I rolled 3 6s, Ali would score a knockdown, and we would immediately check to see if he KOs, looking for the KO number. Again, I have to roll his group of dice, and I have to get at least 2 numbers greater than his KD number. So you use his pool of dice for everything Ali does. So Ken Norton only has 3 skill dice for everything he does, and that means if he gets a KO, he only gets to roll 3 dice to try to knock out Ali, although he has a better KO rate. So hopefully that makes sense. So this is really how active they are, and that means there's less chance of not rolling multiples, which means you score the lowest possible points per round you could, 9, which means you're probably going to lose. Anybody who scores points against you is going to beat you if you fail to roll multiples. So 15-round bout, Muhammad Ali versus Ken Norton in Boxing Time Bouts. This is the very latest. This was I got this file updated this morning, sent it to Office Depot, had it printed, and here we go. So it is December 22nd, and we are playing it for the first time as a tutorial here. So Ali rolls first. All right, so Ali's going to get 1 1 1. So remember, you have to go with the most occurrences of a single number, and you have to go with the lowest number if there's a tie. So Ali's going to score 11. So that leaves Norton open. So Ali scores just 11 points, but that leaves Norton open with his 3 dice to win this round. Remember, oh, that was 10. Excuse me. Ali's on B. Norton's rolling on D, and he only has 3 dice to get multiples. He's going to get 2, 3, and 4. That's going to be only 9 points, and Norton will lose this round 10-9. And that's it. That's how easy that is to determine. So already there we saw Norton's skill. He only managed 9 points against Muhammad Ali. All right, Ali's going to get 2 2, 1 1, and 6. Ali again is going to score 10. So again, Norton has an opening here to get out on Ali, but he's going to have to put something together here. 1 2 4. So again, Ken Norton scores 9. Ali in the first 2 rounds is just out pointing Ken Norton 10-9, and he wins the round 10-9. Here we go. Ooh, Ali manages 3, 5, 6 are irrelevant. 2 fours. Ali on 2 fours is going to score 14 points. Ken Norton, what does he do on his roll? He's going to get 1, 3, 5, 4. So he is absolutely being schooled by the one and only, the greatest. Muhammad Ali is schooling Ken Norton here. Again, you never know when Ken Norton might drop the hammer, though. And we got 2 1s for Ali. We got to take the lowest roll. So Muhammad Ali scores 10. And Ken Norton gets 1, 2, 5, 9. He is just absolutely being outscored 10-9. All right, round 5. Muhammad Ali with 5, 1, 1. Dang, man, we're rolling a lot of ones. 10 for Ali. And Ken Norton's going to get 2 threes. Finally, 2 threes is at 11. Norton's going to win this round. So now it's 9-10. He wins it by 1 punch point, 11-10. Ken Norton in round 5 finally gets the better of Muhammad Ali. Wow, Ali, though, not going away, too. He's going to score 11 in this round. And Ken Norton, ooh, 2 5s on D is 15 points. Folks, Ken Norton in rounds 5 and 6, finally getting the better of Ali. He had to basically spend all those rounds figuring out his range and decoding Ali's defense. And maybe Ali's trying to knock him out. And because he gets in close against Norton, Norton is taking advantage of Ali having to change tactics, trying to get a knockdown. Wow, we're going to get 3, 3, 3. So again, Ali's going to score on 3s, 12 points. Man, he really wants to get rid of Norton before it gets crazy here. Nope. And Norton will score 9. So Ali back to what he does best, outboxing Ken Norton. Round 8 is when Ken Norton will hit what's called the limit. Ali's going to score 2. 2 is 11 points. And Ken Norton, after this roll, will go to round 9. He'll lose his limits. Oh, 1, that's a foul. Ken Norton's going to foul. Automatically, that means no matter what Ali did, Ali would win this round 10-9 because the foul is technically the referee over a course of time has warned him multiple times and said, that's it, we're going to dock a point from, and Ali wins that round due to the fouls. All right, so now what limit means is now if there's cuts or KDs, we add them up as TKO points. Norton, what's Norton's TKO? I didn't think we'd get this far. This is a great heavyweight bout. Ken Norton's TKO, oh no, sorry, everybody's TKO in this is 5. So the limit is 5. So Ali, he is now subject from here on out to being TKO'd by Ali. You have to hit your fatigue point before TKO looks like it's taking its toll. So 2 1s again, that's not going to be any TKO points. Ali has had what I would say, he has had a poor fight. 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds, he's only scored 10 points. 5 rounds, he scored only 10 points. 2 rounds, he scored only 11. But Ken Norton, again, the B boxer with a higher skill is outboxing the D boxer with a 3 skill. And Ken Norton really wants to get a big punch out, but he's not doing it. 10-9. Ali continues to win with only 10-point rounds. Okay, oh, there it is. Muhammad Ali's just scored a KD. And more importantly, that's also a TKO point against Norton, so he has 4 more to go. But we got to check immediately. Does Ali, remember, Ali gets to use 5 dice because he is skilled, but he needs at least 2 of these 5 to be over 4, not 4 plus. He has to be 5 or 6. And he's going to get 3, 3, 2, 4, 1. He will not knock out. He will not knock out Ken Norton, but he knocked him down. Oh, and Ken Norton gets up in the round, and he's going to score a KD against. You got to be kidding. Now he needs at least. So he gets to roll 3 for his skill, but he needs 2 of these to be 4 or higher. He may get off the ground, so Ali drops him early. He stays strong, and at some point in round 10, he knocks Ali down. If I get 2 4s, 2 5s, or 2 6s, this fight is over. 4 and 4 over 3. Yep, win by KO. Ken Norton. Norton with a 10th round KO win over the greatest, Muhammad Ali. Holy cow. KO win for Norton as he drops out of his 3 dice 2 4s. Those 2 4s are higher than his KO rate. and the D-rated, lower skilled boxer with a better KO. Ali dropped him. Ken Norton got up. They did a standing 8. He said, I'm good to go. He avoided Ali's pressure, and ultimately Ali came in for the kill, and it cost him as he go. I can see it in my mind's eye. Ali said, I'm going to go get him, and coming inside to get him got a little dangerous with his defense, and Norton caught him on the chin, and Ali on a knee, but done as he cannot get up. And there is the latest version, and that was beautiful. And again, Ali outscoring Norton, as you should. Better boxer, more skilled boxer. But Ken Norton has that big hand, that big right hand, and he did ultimately get. The sad thing is, Ali had a chance to waste Norton and didn't do it. Norton got up and came back and beat him in the same round. So let's take a look at the football game. This, again, is the latest game I released this morning. Literally December 22nd this morning. These 2 ebooks went back up. This one replacing the old version. This is Football Time Scrimmage. So again, what do my time engine games feature? All of my time games feature teams graded in offense and defense. And they generally have a matchup table to determine what their game grade is for the game. So you'll match up one team's offense versus defense. You get a game grade. And then you play every possession of the game. That team has to use his column to score his points, right? So what's changed in this particular version? Well, again, this uses 5 dice. Every team gets to roll 5 dice. There's a reason that we don't have a proficiency. So boxing, we can afford to have a separation of skills, because there'll be those out there, so why don't you do something like that for football? Have a team rated 3 dice, one team rated 4 dice, 5 dice. Okay, you'll see why in a second. But in boxing, it works because if they don't get any kind of multiples, they score 9 points. It's very simple. They just don't have an active round. Okay? And therefore, Muhammad Ali has a better chance of achieving multiples. All you need is 2 of something or more to at least get on the score charts, right? And to avoid a 9-point round. And teams, guys with 3 only have a 41% chance. And by the way, I do put down those percentages for those who want to know what that means. 5 is a 90% chance you're going to roll doubles or more. A 4 is a 74% chance you'll roll doubles or more. And a 3 is a 41% chance. So any boxer rated 3 means they're going to get on this table only 41% of the time. So that's how much worse off Ken Norton has it as a point scorer, or as someone who's going to get his mitts on a boxer to cut him, etc. But there you saw it. He did, and he KO'd Muhammad Ali. All right, so in football, it's different. Every team gets 5 dice for their pool. And again, we're going to use traditional scoring. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to take, and I put a 1948 rated team in here, Chicago, Denver. So we're going to take Chicago. They are an A offense. So we're going to have Chicago at Denver. We'll just do this. Chicago at Denver. Chicago's an A versus Denver's A. So A on the matchup charts. A on A is B. So Chicago's going to be a B for this game. Denver's offense is C versus B. C versus B is D. So we got another matchup, another BD matchup. And as you saw, that doesn't guarantee a loss for a lower rated. It just means one team's going to be, over the course of a season, more productive, right? So that doesn't mean that Chicago's going to automatically beat Denver. So that's important. But now what we do is very simple. We play football time as we always have, but instead of rolling, what they do, right? They have a pool, and they have to get a multiple number of occurrences. Again, you must take the lowest to do something. So let's start again. Denver, just using my football time rules. Home team always gets the ball first. It's again, it's also a 16 possession game. So Denver gets the ball first, which means Denver's guaranteed the ball last, and it also guarantees Denver will have the ball first in overtime. And that is part of my what gives a team. Now, you could do a kickoff. You can do a coin flip. It doesn't matter. It's just for the sake of having some kind of advantage. But it really, you can roll the dice. You can do a kickoff coin toss. It doesn't break the game. Very often I do just that. All right, so Denver's rolling D. So you get to roll 5, and you'll see what happens if they fail to get any multiples. Wow, so here Denver's going to get 4, 4, 3, 5, 6. So 3, 5, 6 are relevant. 4, Denver on the D chart on 4 is a punt. So Denver will still have to punt despite getting doubles. And Chicago, using the B chart, is going to get 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, so the 2s, Chicago, the 2s on the B chart are a punt. So right now it's a defensive game. Denver's midway through the... Oh, Denver's going to get a big roll here. Yeah, Denver's going to get 5, 5, 6, 6, 6. So on D, 6 is 7 points, so they're going to score 7. As a matter of fact, well, yeah, we'll just do that. And then I have a very simple odd or even roll for whether it's a run touchdown or a pass touchdown. Odd is a run, so they're going to run for a TD. Run TD, PATs are automatic in this. I don't have they're so rare to miss one, I'm not going to put one in, but you could always add a PAT check. Okay, Chicago's going to get 5 and 5. On the B chart is a touchdown, and they're going to score on a run. Run TD. And folks, first quarter's over. Chicago 7, Denver 7. All right, Denver, here we go. Starting the quarter is going to be 1, 2. So we got 2 2s. Denver on the D chart is going to punt. Chicago 6 and 6. So Chicago is going to score 7. And that score is going to be a passing TD. So pass TD for Chicago. Again, you can come up with any way to get your details of your passes, yardage, whatever. It's all up to you who's doing it. Right? I'm not going to spend precious page count putting in that stuff in a simple booklet. Right? Do I have it in my other games? Yes, I have ways you can determine who scored and etc. But in this booklet, trying to keep page count down, you can come up with ways of who scores when they score. All right, Denver, here we go. Denver's going to get 2, 2, 3, 3, and 6. They got to take the 2s. The 2s on D is punt. So Denver now struggling. They're down 14-7, and Chicago with a chance to add to their lead. They're going to get 5, 5, 5. It's another touchdown for Chicago, and this one is a run TD. Run TD, PAT. So Chicago scores 14. Denver shut out. It is 21-7 at halftime. We have not seen a failed roll yet, right? As long as you get at least 2 of something, you're going to be okay. But if you fail to get one, that is an automatic defensive score against you. Okay, so 2, 2, 5, 3, 5. So we got 2 5s, 2 2s, but we got to take the 2. Chicago has to punt. Denver's looking at 1, 1, 1. So Denver's going to end up turning it over, and that turnover is very simple. We just roll to see what. It is odd. It's going to be a fumble loss. So Denver fumbles. It has no other effect on the game other than knowing what happened. 6, 3, 1, 5. And 6s for Chicago is going to be another touchdown. This one a run TD. So Chicago now pounding Denver. It's 28-7. 3 rush touchdowns. Denver needs to do something. They've got 1, 2, 3, and 2 5s. Denver's going to score 3 points. So they're going to get a field goal. And folks, Chicago 7, Denver 3. It's 28-10. And here we go. We may not have a failed roll in this game. Chicago 5, 5, 3, 3. They got to take the 3s. Chicago's punting. Oh, wow. And Denver with 3 6s is going to score a touchdown. That touchdown is a run. So Denver coming back now, 17-28. They just punched it in. Here we go, Chicago. Nobody has failed a roll yet. 2 4s for Chicago is a field goal attempt. And it's very simple. Odd, it's good. And nope, they miss it. Field goal attempt, no good. Chicago misses a field goal. And here we go, folks. Denver's last chance to make it interesting. They're going to get 6, 5, and 2 4s. So 2 4s for them is a punt. Or you could say time expires. If it doesn't make sense, they would punt in the final drive. So basically, I would call it a time expire. All right, so Denver scored a touchdown. And nothing for Chicago. Chicago manages to score 28 in the first 3 quarters, and that's all they need to win. 28-17, Chicago. So, again, let's pretend that on that final roll, I had failed the roll. I'll leave it in here. But let's say I failed. Let's say it was 3, 2, 1, 6, and 4. That would be a failure. Oh, actually 2. That would be a failure. If you fail this roll, that's a defensive score, then it would come here. So what this ends up being is another possession for Chicago recorded as a pick 6. And you can roll the dice. Again, if it's odd, it's a scoop and score, no even. So pick 6 with a PAT, and Chicago would have scored on their. They would have scored on a bonus possession on a pick six. This would have been a INT, right? And that would have led, because I failed the roll, because you can have an INT that's not returned, but let's say I failed the roll, then it could, and you roll again, even it's an interception, odd it's a fumble, scoop and score, pick six, and then Chicago would have won it 35-17, right? So that's why you don't want to use smaller dice pool, because that means 59% of the time teams would be scoring. Right, there you go. That would be a score on the defense. That would be a score on the defense. So you would literally have these games. So you do not want to use the same concept to give your teams power ratings, right? That's why you need to. So the letter grades still hold true. We still have to make that roll. If you still fail that roll, it's a 10% chance you're going to give up a defensive score. That's still higher than, real football. But you could call it a punt return, kick return. But if they fail that roll, 10% of the time a team is going to fail that roll. That's going to be a score that is not a run or a pass. And there you have it, folks. And this one cost me $2.50 because it's only 8 pages long to have made into a booklet. So pretty good, fast playing, fun. They both have career modes. Boxing, I've already gone over the career mode when I released it. That has not changed. The football game is very simple. Every team in the league has an ownership score. So at the end of the season, you have to make a ownership roll. It's optional. If you don't want to use this, because you don't want to have teams fold, then don't use it. But you have an optional ownership check. So for instance, let's say we get to the end of the season, Chicago has 5 dice. All they need are doubles. Okay, so Chicago gets 2 threes, they're safe, so they don't fold. So every single year, your owner, you must roll to see if they close up their franchise, right? Okay. Also, when you get to the off-season check, it's very simple, odd or even. Even. The defense changes for Chicago. So Chicago had a B defense, but they're going to go into the offseason. It's going to change. Well, Chicago has 5 dice for this roll. So they're going to look at the B column because that's their old defense. And we take the highest occurrence. We have 2 threes. 6, 4, 1. Those are irrelevant. 2 threes. Chicago had a B defense, but in the offseason, on the B chart, I rolled a 3. C. So next year, they will be an A offense, and their defense has gone down thanks to free agency or retirements. They would become an AC for next year. Super simple. Not meant to waste your time doing a lot of off-season shenanigans. You just want to be able to quickly decide whether teams fold. You want to be able to decide if teams change, how they change. Now, when you roll that off-season chart, so I was rolling that defensive roll, and I did, let's say I got no doubles. That means nothing changes. Chicago would go to the next year with an AB. They would avoid their team changing, and that could be good for the great team. This could be bad for a poorly rated team, right? So when you roll that off-season chart and you don't get any doubles, that means your team is unaffected by the off-season. They will retain their qualities. All right, there you go. That's 2 quick looks at and tutorials on my brand new football time scrimmage and my updated boxing time bouts. Thanks for watching. Good day.